Jayam Paramhams Prashraya Sadasma Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Anand Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Please Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gaur Govinath Sam Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. नवद्वीप धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी the भक्तवृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you very much.
Shikhandee's Destiny, Part 2. Bhishma Dev continued speaking to Duryodhana. Then Amba entered the forest. She went to the Yamuna and performed severe penance. I was aware of everything because when I returned to Hastinapur, I appointed men just to watch over her constantly. They gave me regular reports. For 1 year, Amba stood on the riverbank without eating. Emaciated and rough-skinned, bronzed by the sun, and her hair matted, Amba stood with hands upraised. After 1 year, she broke her fast by eating a single dry leaf. Then she remained waist-deep in water for another year, standing on 1 foot, fired with indignation. And for 12 years, Amba went on in this way. Neither her relatives nor anyone else could convince Amba to desist from her severe austerities. Then Amba left the Yamuna and wandered at will, visiting sacred hermitages of many rishis. All the while, she continued her penances, bathing 3 times daily, meditating silently, and fasting. Amba's appearance changed from gentle to fierce, and then Amba began to glow with ascetic power. One day, as Amba was bathing in the Ganga, my mother spoke to her. "Why do you perform such terrible penance, O maiden?" "O Holy Mother, I desire to destroy Bhishma, who is so powerful that not even Parashuram could defeat him. Thus, I am set upon achieving insurmountable power through my austerities." My mother Ganga became angry upon hearing Amba's words. "O lady, you act crookedly. You will not be able to attain your object because you are so weak. O daughter of Kashi, if you hold on to your determination, I will curse you to become a terrible river in which water flows in you only during the rainy season, and you will be full of crocodiles and other fierce aquatics." And after saying this and pretending to smile, Ganga vanished, leaving Amba in her waters. But still, the princess did not stop her austerities. Indeed, she performed even more penances, abstaining from all food and water, and controlling even her breath. She wandered on, and then she arrived at Vatsabhumi, falling down, and then became a river. It is said that the river in Vatsabhumi runs only during the rainy season and is unapproachable due to its many crocodiles and dangerous fish. However, by the merit of her austerities and penances, only half of Amba's body became a river, while the other half continued as before. Amba continued on with her asceticism, and after some time, the rishis at Vatsabhumi approached her. They asked her what she desired, and when she had explained, they said, "Yes, you should seek the favor of Mahadev, for Lord Shiva can fulfill any desire." Amba then supplicated Lord Shiva, and he soon appeared before her, asking to know her desire. When she asked the god for the power to kill me, Lord Shiva replied, "Yes, even though you are a woman, you will slay Bhishma. O Blessed One, you will become a man and kill Bhishma in battle. And you will remember all of this in your next life. Being born in the line of King Drupada, you will become a Maharata, quick in the use of weapons, and highly skilled and fierce in battle. Yes, this will all come to pass soon, for my words can never prove false." When Lord Shiva vanished, Amba gathered wood and built herself a funeral pyre within the sight of all the rishis. Setting fire to it, her mind burning with wrath, she hurled herself onto the pyre, crying out, "For the destruction of Bhishma!" And so, Duryodhana, Shikhandee was Amba in his last life. He was born first as a woman and then attained this present form. Listen as I tell you how all of this occurred. The queen of Drupada was childless for a long time. Together she and her husband worshipped Lord Shiva for a child. Drupada prayed for a powerful son, but Mahadev told him that his wife would give birth to a daughter who would later be transformed into a man. Although Drupada beseeched the god for only a son, Lord Shiva replied, "No, it shall be as I have said, for it has been decreed by destiny." And soon after, the queen of Drupada conceived. In due course, she gave birth to a daughter. Remembering Lord Shiva's words, Drupada announced that a son had been born. So he had all the rituals performed for a boy. No one saw the baby, only a few trusted palace staff knew the truth. Drupada raised the child with love, teaching her writing and all the arts. He also instructed her in bowmanship and other martial skills. When she became a youth, the queen asked Drupada to find a suitable wife. Drupada was now anxious. The child had not yet been transformed into a son. Were Shiva's words false? But his wife was fixed. Mahadev's promise cannot fail. Shikhandee will become a man, and therefore should marry a woman. Now convinced by the queen's faith, Drupada arranged for a marriage. He chose the daughter of Hiranyavarman, king of the Darsharnakas. That king was unconquerable, and he was happy to give his daughter to the son of Drupada. And no one suspected anything when the wedding ceremony was performed. The youthful Shikhandee, beautiful like a god, appeared dressed as a boy in fine armor. and she remembered the events of her previous life, as well as the words of Lord Shiva. So even though she had been born a woman, she conducted herself as if she were a man. But it was only a matter of time before Hiranyavarma's daughter discovered the real truth. She sent messengers to her father, informing him that Drupada's son was actually a woman. Her father became furious. He sent an emissary to Drupada. "I am indeed insulted by your wickedness. How could you have accepted my daughter in marriage for your own daughter? I am now preparing to come and punish you for this act. Soon I will slay you and all of your ministers." Drupada was now caught like a thief. There was nothing he could say. He tried to convince Shikhandee's wife that her so-called husband would in fact soon become a man, but it was all to no avail. The girl's father amassed a large army marching upon Kampilia. Drupada was alarmed. He spoke to his wife. "Fools that we are, we have brought a great calamity onto our heads. Now we are in danger. So in your opinion, what should we do now?" They concluded the only recourse was to worship the gods. Drupada supplicated the deities while Hiranyavarma advanced on his country. Meanwhile, Shikhandee, in sorrow at the danger she felt that she had brought upon all of them, left the city. Resolved now to take her own life, she entered the forest in an area that was home to a powerful yaksha named Sthuna. Finding his abode, a white palace washed with lime, she entered and sat down to practice austerities. A few days later, Sthuna returned and saw her sitting there, her body reduced from fasting. Kind by nature, Sthuna asked her why she was performing asceticism. "Yes, tell me if I can do anything to help you." "No, no one can give me what I desire." "I do not agree. I can surely give you whatever you wish. O princess, I am the attendant of Kuvera, and I can grant boons. I will bestow even that which is unbestowable. Now tell me, what is your desire?" And in detail, Shikhandee related the whole story, concluding, "O faultless one, the only way to save my present situation is for me to attain manhood." The yaksha became saddened by her story and felt afflicted by such destiny. So he considered her request carefully. Finally, he replied, "Truly, this must be so. I will, however, make a condition. I am able to grant your wish only by changing my sex with yours. But you must return my manhood after a short time." And so Shikhandee agreed to return to Sthuna as soon as Hiranyavarma would leave Kampilia. The two then exchanged their sexes, and Shikhandee went back to her father's palace. When Hiranyavarma's army arrived at Kampilia, he dispatched his priest to Drupada. "Come out, give me battle, O vile one! You have cheated me." But by now, Shikhandee had returned in a male form. So Drupada said, "O Holy One, there must have been a mistake. The king has been misinformed. Now see for yourself the gender of my son." Surprised, Hiranyavarma had a number of beautiful maidens sent to examine Shikhandee, and when they informed him that Drupada's son was indeed a man, he entered Kampilya with a gladdened heart. Hiranyavarma stayed with Drupada for some time and finally returned to his own country, happy in his newfound alliance with King Drupada. Meanwhile, Sthuna had concealed himself in his palace, waiting for Shikhandee's return. But as he waited, Kubera himself happened to pass by, coursing through the skies in his heavenly chariot. He saw Sthuna's palace shining beautifully, adorned with colorful banners, gems, and garlands. Descending, Kubera approached the palace, but when no one came out to greet him, Kubera angrily asked his attendants, "What kind of fool lives here? Why does he not greet me?" Kubera was then informed by some yakshas what had actually transpired. They told him that Sthuna was hiding out of shame in his palace. Kubera replied, "All right, bring that foolish one here so that I may punish him." Sthuna then came out. In his woman's form, he stood bashfully before his master. "Why have you acted in this way? Why, you have humiliated the yakshas by giving away your sex. Therefore I curse you not to regain your masculinity. Shikhandee too will not regain her female form." The other yakshas now felt compassion for Sthuna. After all, he had acted only out of kindness. So they asked Kubera to set a limit on the curse, so that Sthuna would not always be punished. And Kubera replied, "When Shikhandee dies, Sthuna will regain his male form. Let him be free of anxiety." The powerful Kubera, who can travel long distances within a moment, then left with his followers. Shortly afterwards, Shikhandee returned. "O Sthuna, as we have agreed, I now return your manhood." "No, it has been ordained now that manhood shall be yours for this life, O noble one. Now be pleased to return to your abode." And with that, Shikhandee returned to Kampilya in joy. So you see, Duryodhan, this Shikhandee, formerly Amba, hates me. But because he was first born as a woman, I will never raise weapons against him. I have indeed vowed this. I will not fight with weapons against women, or those who bear a woman's name, or even those who appear to be like women. O Prince, I will not fight with Shikhandee, even if he attacks me, desiring my death." Duryodhan could do nothing but nod. He looked at Bhishma with great respect. Even though the grandfather was often cutting and harsh towards him, the prince could not deny Bhishma's nobility. Placing his hand on the royal scepter, Duryodhana spoke. "O son of Ganga, we will now have to fight the mighty Pandava army. Abounding in heroes equal to the universal protectors, that army will be as difficult to cross as the ocean. Tell me, O grandsire, how long you feel it will take for you to annihilate them." Bhishma Dev's old leathery face, adorned with a flowing white beard, broke into a smile. "Yes, it is fitting that you should ask that, Duryodhana. A leader must know both the strengths and weaknesses of both the enemy and himself before beginning to fight. Hear now of the utmost power I will display in this war. Using ordinary weapons on ordinary soldiers and celestial weapons on those versed in them, I can slay 10,000 foot soldiers and 1,000 charioteers per day. Or it may be more. If I become fired up with anger when I release my weapons, why, I can destroy many more men than that. However, you should know, I will only fight fairly. And may I remind you of the rules of battle, which I will never break? Heroes should never use divine weapons to kill lesser warriors. The fight should always be equal, and even if one is possessed of celestial weapons, he should contend only hand-to-hand with a weaponless enemy, if such becomes necessary. And so in this way, O king, by fighting ceaselessly throughout the day, I can slay the enemy army in 1 month." Bhishma's hand had been touching his bow when he spoke those last words. Everyone cheered Bhishma. Then Duryodhana turned towards Drona Acharya. "O preceptor, what about you? How long do you think it would take for you to overcome the enemy?" "Oh, Duryodhana, I am old, and I have lost some of my strength. Still, I will exert myself fully and consume the Pandava army by the fire of my weapons. So I also think I can annihilate all those warriors in about 1 month's time." Kripa Acharya said it would take him 2 months. Ashvatthama, even bolder, said he could do it in 10 days. And of course, Karna said he could annihilate the enemy in 5 days, at which Bhishma laughed. "Oh, Karna, you may speak in such a tone, only so long as you do not encounter Arjuna with his weapons and his conch, guided by Vasudeva. Say whatever you will, son of Radha. Your talk is simply cheap." Karna simply frowned, remaining silent. Duryodhana continued questioning his generals and commanders, ascertaining their power and determination to fight the Pandavas. The Kauravas discussed their battle plans well into the night, for soon after sunrise, the battle would begin. Vasudeva Paraveda, Vasudeva Paramukha, Vasudeva Parayoga, Vasudeva Parakriyaha, Vasudeva Parangyanam, Vasudeva Paranchapaha, Vasudeva Parodharmo, Vasudeva Paragatahi. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya.